Have you ever been in a relationship that feels like a dizzying roller coaster? One day you're soaring, feeling on top of the world, and the very next you're questioning everything, including your own sanity. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you are definitely not alone. So today we're going to break down this really specific and damaging pattern of psychological manipulation. The goal here is to help you find some clarity in all that chaos.
It's such a deeply unsettling feeling, isn't it? It's like you're lost in a maze and you just can't find the exit. But here's the thing. That profound confusion, it's not just a sign of a difficult relationship. It's usually a symptom of something much more structured, more intentional. It's like a game where the rules are constantly changing, specifically to keep you lost. And wow, this quote from Psychology Today just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that core conflict, right? You're left trying to reconcile two totally opposite versions of the exact same person. Well, this mental tug-of-war actually has a name, and just understanding it is the first real step toward clarity.
And that name is cognitive dissonance. It's basically your brain struggling to hold two completely opposing ideas at once. This person adores me, and at the same time, this person is really hurting me. The abuser fuels this by using tactics like gaslighting, which makes you doubt your own memories, your own perceptions.
But here is the most crucial point, and I really want you to hear this. This confusion is not accidental. It is manufactured. It's the direct result of a very predictable and often repeated pattern that we call the narcissistic abuse cycle. And once you can actually see its 4 stages, you can start to break its power over you.
So let's dive into that first stage and see how this all begins. It starts with a phase that feels like an absolute fairy tale, but it's really the bait in a very sophisticated trap. We call this the idealization stage. The primary tool they use here is something called love bombing. Now, this isn't just intense affection. It's a strategic flood of attention, and it's all designed to sweep you off your feet, get you to lower your defenses, and make you feel completely dependent on this incredible new source of validation.
And what's so tricky is how romantic this all feels at first. It's a total whirlwind of huge gestures, expensive gifts, and intense intimacy. They might even start talking about marriage within just a few weeks, insisting that you're their soulmate. But you have to pay attention. This constant attention is often a strategy to isolate you from your friends and family, making them the absolute center of your universe.
So once that dependency is locked in, the cycle takes a really sharp, brutal turn. The very same person who put you on a pedestal now starts to systematically knock you off of it. Welcome to the devaluation stage.
Suddenly, it's like everything you do is wrong. All those compliments, they turn into constant criticism. Affection is withheld as a form of punishment, and boundaries you thought were crystal clear are just repeatedly violated. This whole jarring switch is designed to keep you off balance, to make you desperate to get back that perfect person from the beginning. And this brings us right back to gaslighting. During devaluation, it's in full force. They'll deny saying things you know they said, they'll twist your words around, and they'll tell you you're just too sensitive or crazy. This is the engine that drives that cognitive dissonance, making you believe the problem must be with you, not them.
Logically, this all sounds terrible, doesn't it? I mean, the obvious question is, why do people stay? Why is it so hard to leave? Well, the answer isn't a lack of strength. It's a very powerful psychological phenomenon at work.
It's something called traumatic bonding, and this isn't love. It's a powerful psychological attachment that's formed through that repeating cycle of abuse and then reward. I mean, on a biological level, your nervous system can literally get addicted to those intense highs and lows, confusing all that chaos with passion and keeping you hooked. And this right here illustrates the trap perfectly. That reward is just a tiny crumb of the initial love bombing. A kind word, a single moment of affection that comes totally unpredictably after a period of abuse. This pattern, called intermittent reinforcement, is one of the most powerful ways to cement a behavior. It creates an addictive loop that is incredibly difficult to break. So next up is the stage that really reveals the true nature of the whole relationship, the discard. When the narcissist feels like you're no longer fulfilling their need for attention or control, or maybe you're starting to push back too hard, they might end the relationship with just shocking cruelty. The discard is often really sudden and just filled with contempt. They'll blame you for everything, they'll invalidate all your feelings, and they'll paint themselves as the victim. But remember, this isn't always the end because the cycle repeats. The discard is often just a prelude to the Hoover, an attempt to suck you back in when they need a new supply of attention, promising things will be different this time. Okay, now for the most important part. Understanding this cycle isn't just some academic exercise. It is the key to breaking free and reclaiming your life. It is absolutely possible. The path out really begins with some concrete steps. First, you have to recognize the pattern we've been talking about. Give it a name. Second, set firm boundaries. Decide what you will and will not tolerate. Third, disengage. This is often called the gray rock method. You basically become as emotionally unresponsive and uninteresting as a gray rock. This starves them of the reaction they're craving. And finally, and this is so important, seek support. You were isolated by this abuse. You have to heal in community. And remember this powerful insight. You don't have to win an argument. You don't have to explain yourself over and over. Your power lies in choosing not to participate in the drama. Your silence, your refusal to take the bait, that's a boundary they just can't cross. So I'll leave you with this question. It doesn't have to be some huge, monumental act. It can be small. Maybe it's deciding not to answer a text after 9 p.m. Maybe it's just deciding not to defend yourself against an unfair accusation. What is one small step, one non-negotiable boundary you can set for yourself today to start reclaiming your power?